Even though America's airports are important traffic hubs, there are some problems with the way they were built. Buckle up, because it's going to be a wild ride through the complex web of airport designs in the United States. As people try to find their way through confusing stations, wait in never-ending security lines, and try to find a quiet spot in the chaos, it's clear that the design flaws that haunt American airports aren't making for a smooth takeoff. Join us as we take a fascinating look at the problems travelers face and the rough road ahead in the world of airport design. Outdated infrastructure is one of the main reasons why many people think American airports are poorly built. Many airports were built decades ago, and they haven't been able to keep up with how fast air travel has grown. Because there isn't enough room in the port, the runways aren't long enough, and the buildings are old, there are crowds, delays, and an overall bad experience for passengers. Inadequate club facilities. Airport facilities are ideal for travelers who want comfort, privacy, and extra services. However, many American airports don't have enough leisure rooms. People can be unhappy and unable to fully relax before their flights if there aren't enough seats, there are too many people, or there aren't enough facilities. Improving and growing lounge areas should be a top goal if you want to improve the overall experience of passenger. Inefficient baggage handling systems is one of the worst things. Handling luggage is an important part of how airports work, but inefficient systems can cause delays, lost luggage, and angry customers. Baggage handlers have to deal with problems like old technology, not enough conveyor lines, and not enough automation. Modern systems for handling luggage, like advanced tracking technologies, can make things run much more smoothly and lower the chance of luggage getting lost. Layouts of American airport terminals can be hard to understand, making it hard to find your way around. The ports often don't have clear signs, sensible paths, or easy-to-use ways to find your way. People often get lost or waste time trying to find exits, services, and ways to get to other places. Unfortunately, many American airports fail to provide an adequate range of services and comfortable spaces for passengers. These design flaws make traveling more stressful than it needs to be and can cause people to miss their planes or connections. Frustrating, right? The connectivity of public transport isn't as good as it could be. The linkage of public transport is important for making it easy to get to airports. But a lot of American airports don't connect well or at all to public transport services. Because there isn't enough access to buses, trains, or light rail, and pickup and drop-off spots are hard to find or far away. Travelers have to rely heavily on private transportation, which adds to traffic and environmental problems. Parking is an important part of airport infrastructure, but many American airports have trouble associated with parking. Travelers have trouble when there aren't enough parking spots. The plan's hard to understand and parking fees are high. Passengers have a hard time because they have to walk a long way from the parking lots to the platforms. There are no buses and the signs are not clear. Airside and landside connections are not as good as they could be. Good connections between the airside and landside of an airport are essential for smooth operations. But many American airports have trouble connecting to each other, which causes delays and waste. Insufficient gates, congested taxiways, and limited aircraft parking places cause congestion and increase the wait time for flights. By improving facilities on the airside and adding more gates, there will be better connections and less traffic. Food and shopping options in American airports often fall short of what travelers want. There aren't many options for food, the prices are high, and there aren't many different kinds of food. A lack of choice in high-quality stores also hurts the shopping experience. These design mistakes make it harder for airports to be lively and interesting places for travelers. One of the most important parts of designing an airport is making sure that all people, including those with disabilities, can use it. But many American airports have trouble making themselves easy to get to. People with disabilities have a harder time traveling because there aren't enough places for wheelchairs to go. There aren't enough signs for the visually and hearing impaired, and there aren't enough signs for people with brain impairment. As more people move to other countries, many people in American airports may not speak English well. But most signs and wayfinding systems are in English, which can be confusing and frustrating for people who don't know English. Travelers will find it much easier to get around the airport if there are signs in multiple languages, clear pictures, and easy-to-understand directions. This will reduce their stress and improve their entire experience, right? there is a lack of natural light and green spaces. Natural light and green spaces can make airports much nicer places to be and make people feel better. But a lot of American airports don't have a lot of green room or access to natural light. There aren't many indoor plants and the control panels aren't well lit. This makes the mood feel lifeless and fake. Skylights, big windows, indoor gardens, and green walls can help make a space more appealing and relaxing for passengers. Airports could show art and cultural exhibits to give people a more interesting and enlightening time. But many American airports don't take advantage of this, which makes them boring and dull places to be. By including local art, cultural exhibits, and installations, airports can become lively and interesting places that give travelers a sense of place and things to remember. What do you think? Airports must have well-trained and informed staff to go along with how they are designed. But it's hard for a lot of American airports to give their employees complete training programs. Poor training in customer service, security procedures, and what to do in an emergency can affect how safe and happy passengers are, generally. Investing in strength training programs for airport staff is important to make sure that everything runs smoothly and that people get great service. Inadequate use of technology. In this digital age, it is important to use technology in the construction of airports. But when it comes to putting technology to use, many American airports are still behind. Travelers can't be as efficient and comfortable when there isn't enough Wi-Fi service, there aren't enough charging stations, and there aren't any new technologies for self-check-in or digital wayfinding. The general passenger experience is hurt by this lack of technological progress. At a time when people are more aware of the environment, airports need to think about ecology and lower their carbon footprint. Many airports in the United States aren't doing enough to be green. The bad effects on the environment are caused by using energy inefficiently, not taking care of trash well, and not having enough renewable energy sources. To make airports better, it's important to focus on sustainable design principles, use renewable energy solutions, and encourage eco-friendly behavior. It is important that airports be built with strength and disaster preparedness in mind to make sure that passengers and staff are safe and healthy. American airports should put a high priority on putting in place strong emergency reaction systems, clear communication rules, and easy-to-use escaping routes. Effective design practices such as flexible infrastructure and energy backups can help airports keep running and keep passengers safe during natural disasters or other unplanned events. Station growth is limited. Many American airports have trouble with their terminals not being able to grow. Because there isn't enough room or money to handle the growing number of passengers, ports are crowded, there aren't enough gates, and it's hard to get around. These limits have a big effect on how well things work and how comfortable people are. As we leave our discussion of the problems with the way airports are built in the United States, one thing is clear: change is coming. Travelers have had to deal with stressful situations and bad designs for far too long, but they won't always have to. With a focus on easy-to-understand layouts, quick security checks, better services, and easy access to public transportation, the future of airport design looks very bright. By using technology, focusing on being environmentally friendly, and putting passenger comfort first, airports can become more than just a way to get somewhere else. They can become places in their own right. So, whether you fly often or only once in a while, you should be ready for an exciting future in airport design. Get ready to see how airport checkpoints will change into magnificent structures, how security will become effortless, and how airport facilities will become lively hubs for shopping, eating, and relaxing. The sky in front of us is full of options, and together we can find our way to airports that really make traveling better.